We are live here at CRL 360 headquarters as we are prepared to wrap up this week, give a few of our thoughts on the games that have passed this week, and stuff like that. I'm your host, Lachlan One, the Commissioner of the CRL, and I am joined here by Silly Jombers, Liam, Ryan, and NSL. How are we going, boys?
Going good.
Good.
Yeah, we're going all good.
So, for starters, this week we're going to start off by summarising the 5 games we saw this weekend. We'll then check out the team of the week. Then head over to our power rankings. Then our signing central before we end things off with predicting our team, our games for this week. So, for starters, what was everyone's thoughts on this round, like in general? Just in general.
It was a blockbuster round. We've got a lot of information this round. Our top 3 is locked in. Our bottom 3 is locked in, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
You know, it was an interesting round of footy. We had obviously last week I sat here and said it's very hard for Manly to make finals, especially with the fact that if they won both their 2 games, they were guaranteed to make finals due to a for and against. We're at the end of round 8 and they're already in 4th. This week that was crazy upsets.
Yeah, I mean the Raiders' loss definitely helped, and the Roosters' loss helped even more.
We'll get into more of that Roosters loss in a second, but the Roosters, I don't know what happened with them this week. I guess we'll get into our first game of the round though before we talk about that Roosters Broncos loss in a bit. The Knights defeating the Raiders in Golden Point. Toa Harris scoring the game winner, 16 points to 12. What were our thoughts on this game?
I'll say one thing. Even though I tipped the Raiders, I wasn't surprised when this happened. I thought the Knights were still a very good chance of winning, and I just tipped the Raiders because I tipped them to make finals, so I just tipped them. But I think the Knights, they played really well again, and they deserved to win. I was just thinking at the end, oh geez, don't let them back in it. They deserve to win the match, and fair play to the Knights.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, my thoughts on it was this has been a long time coming, and quite frankly, I think that the Knights should be in finals contention. Like, genuinely, they didn't deserve to lose against the Panthers, and they didn't deserve to lose against the Sharks, and they would be on 8 points right now. I think that it would be certainly an interesting competition if the Knights had won those 2 games, and I think that they'll be a very good side next year.
The interesting thing about that on that point, right, is if that had happened, I believe the Panthers and Sharks would still be pretty much confirmed to be second and third too. So if they had won those 2 games, it would have just made 4th and 5th very interesting competition with Knights potentially having a 5-game winning streak headed to the finals.
That would be very, very good for the Knights, and we're going to see a new coach coming in too, which is going to be very interesting. Saying in season 2, how that plays out. I think that they're going to be a huge force come season 2.
Yeah, well, on that point a little bit more, I also think that the Knights have been really lucky on the coach that they've gotten. I think that Jacko is an incredible coach, and we're going to really see. I mean, we saw how active he was with the Sharks. He's probably one of the most active assistant coaches, along with Dingo. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I think the Knights. Watch out.
Especially if they stick with some of the changes that have obviously forced them into out of water spoon contention pretty much this season. We've seen them go pretty much since they only just lost to the Sharks. They've been in every single game, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And anyway, and also in this game, something that incredible happened. The defense was amazing. We saw Jamal Fogarty make a massive play, which proves that, definitely signing his name up to be Queensland coach. Obviously, Jilly, you're Queensland player, sorry. Obviously, Jilly, you're Queensland coach. Did this big play really impress you? The fact that he decided to take the opportunity to go for the 40s when give him a better opportunity at scoring?
Oh yeah, I thought Jamal played amazingly in that game, just in general. And I think he's been good all season. And you have to keep an eye on the Queensland squad announcements. That's all I'll say.
Certainly will, as we move into our second game of the round, our second Friday game, we had the Broncos taking down the Roosters 36-16. What were our thoughts of this game?
It was a crazy match. Did not expect the Broncos to win at all. I think AJ Brimson was a gun at half at 5'8". Yeah, the Broncos just had a really good team effort, and I was really impressed with this. So, yeah, Broncos, they're definitely showing up, and that they can be a good side in season 2. So, yeah, you should be scared of them in season 2, similar to the Knights. Fair play to them.
Yeah, I think I was most impressed by the talent we haven't seen in the CRL before, playing really well. I mean, Hicko was great. Robson was great. I think Molo was pretty good off the bench. TC Rabadi had a decent game. Obviously, Brimson at 5'8".
It was the clear standout.
Yeah, I was really impressed with all the Broncos players, and it should be good to let them get another crack at some point. I'd like to see them play a little bit more.
Yeah, the thing that really disappointed me about this game was the Roosters didn't really show much fight at all. They were never even close to being in this contest.
Mm,
I think they were down by quite a bit at halftime. Could correct me if I'm wrong in that, but they were down by quite a bit points, it was about 2 tries or something. And then even when the second half came, they never even looked like they were coming into the game.
well, look, with the Roosters, this is again, they've gone from thumping the Rabbitohs by 30 points to losing to the Panthers by about that margin, to winning over the Raiders in a close one, to losing to the Broncos by 20 points.
20.
They're just so inconsistent.
I thought, and I said before the round started too, the Roosters were more consistent. Were more consistent than the Eels. That may not be true. I regret saying that.
Yeah, I think the Roosters are in a tricky spot come off season. They have a lot of players off contract. They have to lock down. They want to obviously make sure of their long term future. They're going to struggle to keep some of their stars. They could be in for a really tough period if they don't do anything here. I guess
Yeah.
we move on to the next game of the round. The Monday night clash we saw for Sharks only just defeat the Rabbitohs 12 points to 6. Our thoughts?
I was impressed by the Rabbitohs, to be honest. I thought that they really grinded that game out.
Yeah, the defense is pretty good, also.
Oh, don't get me started on the Rabbitohs defense. Got lucky. Got beat by 20.
Let's be honest. It was pretty good. And I think
Yeah.
they're similar, where they've got quite a good future ahead of them. I think Jaden Campbell's going to be a gun. Blake Taff in the future, I think I'm going to be really impressed with him. He's on the upper, and he's looking to improve. So yeah, I'm excited for what the Rabbitohs can provide. Obviously, they're out of the finals race and probably going to get the spoon.
Gonna get one spoon. Let's go.
Yeah, but I mean, they played well.
Yeah, obviously the new coach hasn't won, I believe, since he's been at the job. However, I think he's still trying to feel around how the club's going about. I'm expecting a big off-season from the Rabbitohs. I think they're going to go under a massive rebuild for season 2. We heard him speak, and I think he hinted at potentially Cody Walker getting the nudge in the shoulder. Kieran Foran also be on the out. We could see a new halves combination. I'm really looking forward to see how the Rabbitohs turn out for season 2.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Blake Tapp in the halves. And I'll be interested to see who he selects in the second halves role.
Yeah, I think we
Obviously,
could see a little bit of a baby bunnies outfit next year. Personally, that's what I think. I think that
they could go Sam Walker and make another baby.
Yeah.
Sam Walker's off contract, isn't he? That could be an awesome sign for them.
To be fair, I kind of am looking at Sam Walker as well.
Ooh, a little bit of intel, the scoop.
Getting a bit of an inside scoop. Liam Ryan is going off the Sam Walker breaking news right here.
I could be.
Guess we'll move on to our next game at least then. The Tigers winning like its 2015 grand final against the Panthers. Actually, well, in this scenario, they hit the goal instead of missing it. Similar conversion type though, with getting just out of trouble against the Panthers, 20-18. My opinion, game of the season. What was your guys' thoughts?
Oh, this had every single thing in this. In this game had everything. Along with it had a few suspensions. It was just
A
up and
few.
down, up and down,
I think you
and
mean
it
four.
was. And yeah, I thought the biggest thing that came from this game was the Tigers. Even though they won, they're gonna miss Dane Laurie, and I think that I don't know. Will they get him back for this season at all?
So, well, here's the thing, right? So the Tigers, right? This is an interesting thing now, right? If the Tigers this is assuming the Tigers get Minor Premiership, which at this point we can pretty much confirm, right?
Yeah.
So if they win the first week of the finals, they'll go straight to the grand final, which means Dane Laurie will miss the grand final if they win week 2 and won't play, and that'll be his season. But if they lose week 2, play week 3 and win that, they'll play in the grand final.
But I don't know if they're going to
So,
be able to do well.
This is going to be interesting then, because if the Tigers, the Tigers can maybe throw to have that chance of having Dan Laurie in the grand final, but it's interesting now. I don't expect it to throw, but it'll be interesting.
Look, personally, I think that this game proved. I mean, Laurie wasn't that amazing in that game. I think he was decent. Let me just check his stats real quick. Yeah, he wasn't all that great. He made 130 meters ish. But I think this proved, and we've been saying it for weeks, that they cannot compete with the top sides. Well, who's to say that? The Tigers beat the Panthers. I think that they are going to really, really, really push for grand final. If not, I would say that they're grand final favorites.
Oh, I think Laurie's a huge loss though. I mean, I think it's sort of like it's the have real life. People are saying they can't win without Latrell in this situation, but I don't know if Tigers can win without Laurie. That's my thoughts.
Who are they going to play? Do you reckon Mamali will keep fullback role for finals?
Oh, look, I think I'd actually.
I don't think they should, but I think they will.
Maybe Adam do it at fullback. That could be a decent
I
one.
think I'd like to see Peachy at fullback, to be fair.
Actually, I agree with you.
Peachy's been good all year.
I'd like to see Peach at fullback.
I don't know.
He played fullback for a couple games with the Panthers in real life. I think he could do it, to be honest.
Jake
But that's my
Granville.
thoughts. I think I don't know the Tigers. We literally keep downing them. We're like, oh, they're not, they can't compete. Oh, now that they have to compete, oh, Dane Norris suspended. He can't. They can't compete now.
I'm not gonna doubt them.
We keep on down.
I'm not ruling them out.
A little bit of a CRL 360 bold prediction. I'm gonna say that the Tigers win the premiership from here.
I'm sticking with my Sharks pick. Not just because Liam's in here. Well, I'm still sticking with my Sharks pick. I've tipped them from the beginning of the season. I'm sticking with my prediction now. But
I'm going bold prediction.
Later.
My bold prediction is the Tigers won't win a game for the rest of the season.
Ooh.
Okay, let's get a bit more back on track with the game. Obviously the Panthers though. I mean, it's a tough one to lose. Was the best game of the season thus far, in my opinion. Was there much else they could have done?
Nah,
No,
I think
not
they played great. I don't think they played bad. I think the Tigers were just too good.
Too good. Yeah, they were really, really solid there. But, yeah, I guess we move on to the final game. This is the final game, correct? Yep. Final game of the round. The Seagulls defeating the Eagles 20 points to 12.
Oh, God.
What were our thoughts?
NSL, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure thing. Well, first of all, I think we done pretty well in the first half. Off from who was the first try scorer? It was Nelson. Was Guffo. My bad. Yeah, it was off from Mitch Mo's grubber there, which that was pretty good. Nelson was pretty good with with the line breaks, made 7 line breaks there, two tackle breaks. Defensively, in the middle once again, I actually did expect Tommy Turbo to actually get through there, and is what I expected from my concerns before watching the game. But we try best in the second half, but we just kept on like throwing silly intercepts and that, like how we normally do. With Gutherson, Sean Lane, and also Nelson there. Yeah, Warner Blake, as much as I rate him, looking at his stats, he was pretty quiet. Guy actually made a good one running line break there, but yeah, once again, defense just let us down and just silly penalties, silly intercepts. Just intercepts there from those play offloads, and it's just we're just so inconsistent, like in the second half when we play good in the first half, and we've been showing that for the last couple of weeks. And for my team, we've got a lot of work to do with the middles for our defense.
Yeah, look, I think the Eels were really good in the first half. I think they were definitely the better team.
Yeah,
Solomon, I was really impressed with him
100%.
getting his hands on the ball. But I
Oh,
think in the
he's a
second
tank.
half, I don't know
Yeah,
what happened. Someone must have just flipped him over, saw that the off switch was off on Turbo, and just flicked it back on because he just went literally lightning in the second half.
yeah. He's come a long way for a season. He started off like playing 5A, it was all right, but then he started clicking it like on against Knights, I believe, which it was one of the best men for the Seagulls there. And then onwards from there, then he was pretty good onwards to just what happened recently. And he also like made nearly 300 running meters, which is absolutely just crazy. Like that is just insane.
Yeah, he was really
It's
good
funny.
tonight.
It's funny,
Yeah.
right? Turbo has scored 5 tries in 2 games and hasn't scored another try in his other 6 games.
That is
Insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to think of him. I don't know if he's a good player or not. I mean, obviously he's at least decent because he's scoring all these tries, but
Yeah, I think he is a good player. He's just had a bit of a form slump this year. I think.
well, he's tied 4th try scorer now, so
Yeah, he's just had a bit of a form slump on average. Look, I think if he sticks to fullback and he stays there for the entire season next season, he will be in Dally M contention. I just think
100%.
he just needs to find his feet.
Yeah.
well, guess what? I'll get to give you guys a sneak peek. Here's a little thing right now. Tom Trbojevic is based off the rating the 9th best player.
Ooh,
And we're
Sheesh.
calling this season a form slump.
Oh wow, that is insane. Huh.
If this is a form slump, what is it going to be when he's not in a form slump?
Yeah. And look, I don't even think we're overreacting when we say Tommy Turbo's had a form slump. I think he definitely has had a form slump this season. It's just
Or are our expectations for him just a little bit higher because of how good of a player he can be?
well, no, because I don't even think he should be up there competing with Pappenhausen. Whereas I don't think he's been anywhere near that. He's been that in 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where his tries come from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll move on to I guess that's if we're done with that section. We'll move on to well, my personal. I love this section so much. The team of the week here. This one's an interesting one. We've got a few newcomers, a few familiar faces, a few surprise selections, I think. I guess we'll move on to our first pick. Speaking of the devil, Tom Trbojevic. Anyone else but him for fullback of the week?
No, I don't think so at all.
No.
I mean, usually
Maybe
Pappenhausen's up there, but I don't think he was this week either.
Yeah.
Pappenhausen scored a try, but it was 169, which isn't bad. But Turbo just beat him out pretty easily.
By like over
Yeah.
100 extra meters and also and another extra try. We would have
Yeah.
said all that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
We
Sorry, go on.
mentioned it in the previous section, but Tommy's going to be insane if he can keep his form. I mean, he could be.
Especially possibly in the finals, maybe if Seagulls,
Yeah,
if they can make it, but we'll possibly get that in the sec though.
And I think the scary thing is, right, I didn't even really notice Turbo until the end of the first half, and then after he made that one line break where he nearly scored, I didn't notice him again until he scored his next try. If he can play like that for the entire game,
yeah.
oh my god, that would be
Whew.
scary.
Yep. Play like absolute god.
Like, if he can play like this in the finals, I'm telling you right now, Steelers will be contending for the grand final. They'll be Premiership contenders if he can play like
100%.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's an absolutely incredible player. I'm really looking forward to how his final series goes. Hopefully, he can keep this form. But we'll move on to our next player. We have on the wings. We have Adoka and Xavier Coates.
I think Xavier Coates made 210 meters, didn't he?
He played really good.
He's been really
that's pretty
quiet.
good. Wow.
He's been really quiet this season. Like,
Yeah.
I've barely noticed Coates, so it's good to see him doing something. Because
true.
I've been a little bit disappointed with him so far.
Yeah, I think he's been. I think on the other hand, we also have Joshua Carr returning to the wing, and I think it definitely proves that his best position definitely is on the wing. I don't think he's a fullback anymore.
Yeah, I think that the experiment was a good experiment, but it didn't work, and I think wing is where Adoka should stay.
Yeah, especially when he just gets into space, you're not catching him. He's too fast.
Yeah.
I guess we'll move on to our centers of the week, which this week we have.
Hey, future Jelly Jumpers here, but there was a little issue with the centers of the week audio, so we're skipping straight to 5/8. Apologies for the inconvenience.
I think we can move on to centers. There's not too much to talk about with them. We'll move on to our 5/8 of the week, which I think considering how much we talked up AJ Brimson, this may surprise a few people. However, once you look at the stats, we've gone with Kalaponga over AJ Brimson. Now, I do have my reasons, but I'll let other people talk. What do you guys think about Kalaponga's performance this week?
Phelan Ponga, he was really good. I thought he was really good. He just was a playmaking half, and I thought that he was really good playmaking, and like he kicked well, ran the ball well. Not much. He did everything right that he could have, and won the Knights the game. So good on him. Good to see him clicking.
It's good to see Ponga getting some form. I think he's one of the Knights players, along with, obviously Munster, that hasn't quite been there this season. I mean, he's been up there, but I would like to see Ponga take it to that next level. I think he did this week.
Yeah, let's give you guys an idea of how good Ponga was on that weekend. He doubled the amount of tries he had for his entire season.
Yeah, yeah.
He made 3 tries he had 3 for the season, one up to 6.
Yeah, I was impressed. I thought that he really is. I don't think he's the captain, but he really is the main leader of the group. So it's good to see him doing so well.
Who is the captain of the Knights?
I believe it's Brayley. Yeah.
Brayley, yeah. And I also think that on the Ponga note, I think that if he plays like that every week, I think he's definitely benefited from the whole. So he's been really able to build off what he's doing. I think if he just can work with him well, he can be one of the best pilots in the competition.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, I guess we move on to our halfback of the week, which again I think is might surprise a few people. However, we've gone with Nico Hines. What were our thoughts on his performance?
Thought he was pretty good. Pretty solid game. He didn't do much wrong. He just played well enough to get a spot on the team, and he was just. I thought he was quite good at getting the ball to his players. So
I think what impressed me the most was that I think his running game wasn't bad. We ran for 114 run meters, set up a try. I think his running game was really good from Hines.
Yeah.
Not much to say on him. Halfbacks are an opposite and don't do as much as you expect them to, at least. Guess we move on to our props of the week. It was almost the Saifidi brothers, both of them. But we've gone with Payne Haas and Jacob Saifidi instead. What were our thoughts of this game? These players, sorry.
Well, Haas did well. Haas was one of the only Broncos players still remaining after the mass dropping or mass resting of players. And he really took on a leadership role. He did. I mean, he was one of their best players along with Brimson. Going through the middle, and I was really impressed. I think that he laid a good platform for the backs to score some tries, and obviously they scored a lot of points, so he did a pretty good job at that. Whereas with Jacob Saifidi, I mean, he's been great the past few weeks in all the games, being obviously Sharks, Panthers, and now this week. But yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah, I think Payne Haas in particular, he was one player that he played because he wanted to see more of him. He wanted to get him improvement rating. And he definitely, even if he can't get a big improvement, he definitely put his best foot forward to say, I can definitely push forward for maybe just a slightly better rating. Still one of the worst of gold players. Has a rating of 5.2. Only 400 run meters total this season, or 460 to be exact. But he's definitely trying to at least get up there again.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
As speaking of that, Payne Haas has been really bad this season. Zach Lomax has more run meters than him. So, yeah, that's not
It's
great.
embarrassing.
But I guess we move on to our hooker of the week, which this guy he hasn't really done much since round 1 when he lit the game on fire. But he was unreal tonight, on Tuesday, when Harry Grant. How good was he?
Oh yeah.
208 run meters or run meters. He was making 2 line breaks. He was pretty good defensively. I'd say 17 tackles made, and it was pretty good at dummy half. He was absolutely just fantastic.
Yeah, I think he really laid a platform for Tommy Turbo to sort of go off. Directed the forward pack around 2, made sure everyone was doing their roles correctly, and yeah, I think he definitely was really good for that Manny side.
Yeah. So a lot of good plays there for them.
I guess we move on to our second roles of the week now, as long as no one else has anything else to say. With Philly Tupanua and Isaiah Papali'i getting the second roles of the week. How do you think these boys go?
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I've been
Typically,
surprised. I've been surprised how little Tupanua's name has been brought up. Obviously, he's gold, and I honestly think he's probably the least talked about gold, other than maybe Lindsay Collins. They both come from the Roosters. But this week he was really good.
Talk about the Roosters.
yeah.
Sorry.
This is the Rooster culture.
Oh god.
Yeah, but this week he was really good. And he definitely earned his place in the side.
Yeah, man. Obviously, Papali'i, he's been really good these past couple.
It's been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, no,
Isaiah
I would
Papali'i,
say
I think he's
fantastic
definitely
actually.
showed this week. Was he in? Yeah, he was in the team of the week last week too.
Yes, he was. Yeah. Yes, he was.
And
yeah.
was he? Oh no, he wasn't. That was the wrong one.
Week before that.
Was he? In the
Yeah,
week before that?
Actually, it might have even been the week before that.
No, he wasn't the week before.
No, it was last week. It was last week then.
Yeah, it was in last week. He wasn't last week, wasn't the week before that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Isaiah Papali'i, he's been really good for the Eels recently.
Yeah.
I think he's someone looking to improve. And yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the best forwards coming into next season. Really point man key for us. So yeah, just always try to do his things there, get a couple line breaks. So yeah,
I guess we move on. Speaking of Eels, move on to another forward who's been terrific this season. It's been super a lot.
oh yes,
Nelson
yeah,
Asapa Solomona.
what a tank,
How good has he been?
what a tank. Yeah, he was absolutely He was absolutely one of the best players for us on Tuesday. Uh, as mentioned before, you made like a lot of like line breaks for us. Putting like 2 kicks in there. I mean, yeah, it's all right, but it was pretty aggressive player for us on the night. It was barging off players from the middle, and that he scores a try there in the first half, and he showed some great courage for us, and I think he's the only player that shows that great courage like in the forwards, along with Jose Papali'i. I know that Reed Miney, has been showing us with hooker position and all that for you got team week for the last couple of weeks and that, but I think Nelson's starting to step up a lot, and he's starting to be one of those dangerous men. Just starting for us. So yeah, absolute tank.
You have to agree with you there. I think he's had like a lot. I'll read over his stats quickly. He's had 2 tries, 4 try assists, then he's ran for 900 meters. He's been, and keep in mind, there was some games early on in the season where he was running close. I think actually one game he ran for 0 meters early on in the season.
Yes, yeah. For some weird reason, I don't know what
So,
happened there.
like, if we take out those games where he was starting at prop, like the first 3 games out of it, I think he's probably one of the best players in the competition. If he had started a lock,
Yeah,
he'd be. And I think next season is
yes,
going to be huge for him. Getting a pro preseason a lock, watch out. He's going to be scary.
yeah, 100%.
Well, I guess we'll move on to our bench player of the week, which is obviously we did this last, we do this again, and it's Connor Watson. A successful return from injury it was, wasn't it, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was alright, but like his team lost by 20.
So Watson, successful return from injury. He played really well. Obviously, we've seen some more injuries take place this round of suspensions, with Caramari being the biggest name going down with an injury. But yeah. Alright, I guess it's time to move on to my personal favourite section. The power rankings.
Let's go.
Alright, well, I guess we'll start. We haven't actually, I think this might be the week we've had the least amount of change.
Yeah.
So we'll
Oh,
make it. We
actually.
won't make it as long as other weeks. We haven't changed it all too much. We'll give brief summaries of teams. But we're going to start off with the Tigers. And we talked briefly about as being first. We talked briefly about them earlier. But they beat the Panthers, so there's no reason to drop them from first, is there?
Nah. I mean, I'm going to elaborate more. I think that the Tigers, I think they've got consistency. That's what they've got. You look at other teams like the Raiders, like Manly, like Eels, like Roosters. They haven't really been consistent, and that includes their team lists and everything about it. The Tigers have. This is the first time they've changed their team list all season in this upcoming round, and honestly, I think it might be the first time that they're gonna get whipped. All I'll say is, I think that if they get Dane Laurie for the grand final, if they can push through the finals without Dane Laurie, and they can have Dane Laurie for the grand final, they're winning it.
Here's the question. Here's the moral dilemma. Do you lose the first week? Here's the thing. I don't think you do this. But is there sort of a bit of a maybe talk that you lose the first week of the finals so you can potentially have Dan Laurie for the grand final? Because if they win the second week of the finals, Dan Laurie misses the grand final.
Nah, you can't. You just gotta go for it. And if he misses, he misses.
I agree with you. Because I think it's just bad team morale to think, if we need Dan Laurie for it though.
Lose.
It's just bad
That's
team morale.
that's not a way to think about it, in my opinion. That's just not the way to play. not the way to play rugby league.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they have to go for it. If they miss it, we could look back and say, "Oh, if only Dan Laurie was suspended." Well, he was suspended. Nothing you can do about it.
His fault. He's got suspended. So
I guess
pay
we
the
move on
price
to
for it.
our Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
I
I guess we.
finished what I was saying.
Oh, okay. I guess we move on to our next team in the power rankings, the Panda Panthers. Now, they were. I think they were favourites heading into this game. However, the Tigers got the better of them. And are we all concerned that they lost to the Tigers here, or do we think that it's just a
Nah.
hiccup and they'll be back next week, big and strong?
No, I don't think. I don't think that it's too much of a issue. I mean, they're playing their B team against the Sharks, so we won't really get much of a. It's not really. We're not going to take much out of this game against the Sharks, but yeah, I don't think there's too much they did wrong against the Tigers, and I don't think there's going to be too much of an issue betting those top sides.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it more shows the determination of the Tigers to win. But I think Panthers, they were good, and they probably could have won that game. It was an unlucky loss. Both teams played really well. Really well.
What I'll say about the
Yeah.
Panthers is, I'm excited to see Jerome Luai come back. I mean, both their starting halves are going to be out this weekend. They probably would have been anyway. But I'm excited to see Luai come back in. Obviously, he was amazing before he got banned. And can Cleary miss grand final if they make it? I don't think it can.
Cleary. So yeah, Cleary cannot because they're guaranteed to play at least one more
Yeah.
game before grand final.
Yeah.
So Cleary will no matter what be back for the grand final. Same with Yo. Same with Taylor May.
Yeah.
Because he'll play second. Because they won't. There's literally no way they can.
They have to at least play 3
those
games.
nonsense.
That's why Tigers are different though. They can make the grand final with just one win.
Yeah.
I guess we'll move on to the Sharks. Third place in our power rankings. I mean, there's no reason to move them from here. They won, even though they did lose. Even though they only won by a couple points. They still won, and there's no reason to change them.
Yeah. Look, Liam, I have something to say to you. I am so sorry for the entire season. Maybe once, I rated the Sharks, but I have severely underrated them for the entire season, and they are clearly Premiership contenders.
I can see. I don't know. We have looked bad at sometimes. I can see why you've underrated them, but yeah, it's fine. I guess.
Look, what I'll say is, I think the game when I only just went against the Shark Knights, just clicked the switch on. They're like, right, we need to stop lounging around. We need to get our groove together, and they haven't looked back since.
Yeah.
So I think they've been terrific. They only lost 2 games all season.
I think we've only lost 2 all season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whoever wins next week will get second pretty much. Or then Panthers and Sharks next week will get second.
We lost to teams that probably won't make finals.
You lost to the Broncos and who else?
Roosters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll move on to the next team in the power rankings, which this one's the big mover. However, I think it's deservingly so considering where they sit on the ladder. The Seagulls move into 4th.
Whoop whoop.
They're back. Tom Trbojevic is back, and they're back in a big way.
Yeah. Look, I'm just really worried about Manly because of kind of like the form guide of how our season's been going. It's been so inconsistent. Some would say even more inconsistent than the Roosters. I could easily see Manly winning the rest of the games and winning the grand final. I could also see them losing next week and not making it. So it's interesting. I think that they deserve to be here, and I think they'll probably make finals now. But it'll be interesting. That's for sure.
It'll be interesting. Like the Rabbitohs, we did see the Rabbitohs play really well against the Sharks, and let's see, will they come out this week and prove why that the Sharks weren't bad. It was just that the Rabbitohs were played really well, and will they come out and beat the Seagulls and ruin their finals hopes? Be interesting.
Certainly.
Yeah, I think with the Seagulls, right? I think if Tom Trbojevic, and I genuinely mean this, if Tom Trbojevic can play how he played against the Knights and against last week against the Eels, week in, week out, Manly are a premiership contender.
Yeah.
Like, flat out of the premiership contender.
Yeah.
However, the difference is Tom Trbojevic doesn't play like that. Heck, if Tom Trbojevic doesn't play like that, they probably don't even fucking... Sorry, shouldn't swear. They probably don't even, they probably don't even win the game.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think a lot
It's a very
rests
Yeah.
on Tommy, and we've. Yeah, a lot rests on Tommy.
very hard job. It's very hard to assess Manly, in my opinion. Like they're very like they're the team that you don't know what you're getting from them because like if Tommy's on fire, they are an absolute force. But if he's not, they lose. They can lose to the worst team in the comp. They're the team that can beat anyone, and they're also the team that can lose to anyone. Well, they're probably one of them. There's probably a few in the comp that are like that, but
Yeah, but definitely, I would say there's a few. Say the next team in our power rankings, good transition here. The Roosters are another one, and I think fifth suits them right. I know that I don't know what to think about the Roosters. I think, well, if they win this week against the Eels, pretty much the Eels versus Rooster game is a win. Whoever wins the next final, whoever loses it out, guaranteed, pretty much.
Yeah. So it goes.
And if the Raiders win, that throws another hat into the mix with the Seagulls.
Yeah.
And in fact, if the Eels only win by like 2 or 3 and the Raiders win, it's Seagulls and Raiders that make the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a lot of combos that could happen.
Yeah. The race is still wide open for any teams, but
It's going to be based off. It's
It's gonna be
definitely going to come
pretty
down to
tight.
for and against, I think. Well, it's going to depend on other teams too.
yeah.
But
And look, here's something for you. All right, let's say the Rabbitohs win, right? And then the Eels win. And then the Broncos smash the Sharks and the Tigers beat the Raiders. That's Broncos in the top 5.
Broncos aren't
Wow.
playing the Sharks.
I meant Knights.
Huh?
I can't see them smashing the Knights.
I actually don't even think they have to smash the Knights. I think
they just have to win by a decent
yeah.
amount.
I think it's 12 that they have to win by. So that's not too.
Yeah,
And how,
not too.
I can see it
and
happening.
how much?
It's not that big of an
And
ask.
what needs to happen for the Broncos to make finals? You said?
All right, let me tell you again. It's Rabbitohs need to
I'm
beat
stupid.
Seagulls. Eels need to
Yep.
beat Roosters, but only by a small margin. And then Broncos need to beat Knights, and Tigers need to beat Raiders. So it's not that outlandish.
It's just 3 games have to go their way.
4.
4.
Yeah. Because
I
there's
wasn't,
plus
I
3.
wasn't including the Broncos game in there.
Oh, okay, yep.
That's why I said 3.
Okay. Yep, so 3 games need to go
Yeah.
their way, plus they need to win.
By a decent margin. So I'll say that I think it's more likely to happen than Sharks to get Minor Premiership or Panthers for that matter. But it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I guess we move on to the next team in the power rankings, the Raiders. What are our thoughts on them?
They're missing Hammer.
Oh yeah,
They
definitely.
are
If Hammer was playing for them,
missing in a huge way.
I wouldn't say it'd be. Look, if Hammer was playing for them, well, look at it this way, right? When Hammer was playing for them, I genuinely had them going on a massive run back top 3. But Hammer not being there has pushed them down, and now they're looking like they might have not even make finals, which is big.
We thought they'd finish 3rd, and then the
Is that
Sharks.
correct me if I'm wrong, is that their second loss in a row? Yeah, it is.
It is, yeah. Who they
Yeah.
they lost to the Roosters and Knights. Oh, both by 4.
They win both those games, which both of them were very, very close games. They win both of them. They are in top. They're definitely in the top 5. Confirmed. They're in 10 points in their 4.
Yep.
So it's going to be very interesting. I guess we'll move on. The Raiders. I can't, to be honest. This might be an unpopular opinion. I think the Raiders are the least likely team to make finals.
Ooh.
Out of the like Roosters, Raiders, Eels group, I think they're the least likely to make it.
Oh, I thought you were saying less likely than the Broncos. I'm like, what?
No, not the Broncos. I'm not. I think the Broncos. I'm not. I think the Broncos. It's too unlikely. But if it would have happened, it'd be like a 1 in 100 years scenario, or some shit like that, or 100 seasons or something. I can't see it happening.
Yeah.
I can. But it probably won't.
That's why I was only including the Eels, Roosters, Raiders group. Thinking of the Eels, there are 17 on apparent, which they probably could have moved up there a few. They were in the game the entire game of the Seagulls, but the second half they just sipped off.
Yeah, 100%. We just like a lot of silly offloads away, as you said, a lot of errors in the middle of our defense there, and our attack. A few line breaks from Gutherson, and yeah, just did pretty good in the first half, but in the second half it's just same form as it has been for the last couple of weeks. They they can go so well, but yeah, they just make it hard, for themselves, and they just managed to somehow just choke it from some silly defense, and also from kick return meters as well. It's just from the fullback, it's just a massive weakness that we need to work on, especially against Roosters as well, coming into the next round and must win as well.
Alright, so I guess we'll move on to it now. Since these guys haven't actually changed positions, we're just going to go with the last 3 grouped all together with the Broncos, Knights, Rabbitohs finished 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Not really much to say on these guys, is there?
Yeah, nah,
No, not
I
really.
agree. I think they're all out of it now, and they're gonna start rebuilding. But it's good to see 2 of the 3 at least, or actually all 3 of them, kind of get a bit of improvement this round.
Yeah. I guess we'll move on to the we're gonna predict the game results now. We're gonna move on to that section, and then that'll be it for the episode. So the first game we have is the Seagulls versus Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that game?
Eagles.
Well, I said it earlier, but I could see this game going either way. I could see it being a 13+ win from the Rabbits. I could see it being a 13+ win from Manly. I could see it being 1-12 either way. I could see this going any direction. If I were to say where I think it would go, I'm going to say Manly 1-12.
I think you're a lunatic. Manly 13+. Yeah, underrating your old boys. This is
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah,
this is a
I'm not
ploy to
gonna.
trick us all, and then you're gonna come out. Tommy Tavoy is special. He's gonna score 3 tries. I know you still have your fingerprints on the side. I'm watching you, Julie. Seagulls 13+.
Yeah, I agree with Lachlan there. I think I'm gonna go with Seagulls 13+. The Tommy Turbo's going to be absolutely just dancing floor if I did against the Eels, and Dylan Walker will go well for them as well. And I think Harry Grant wants to be possibly good at dummy half, but yeah, this is going to be an absolute bloodbath.
Liam?
Yeah, I'll go I'll let me say a thing or two. I think the Bunnies. I don't know why. I just feel like I have a feeling tonight with them. Feel like the Bunnies. Feel like Blake Turf could be coming out and just going around and having the same sort of fire he did last week. And if they defend like that against Manly, well, I could see them. I think I'm gonna go an upset. I'm gonna go Rabbitohs 1-12.
Eesh.
I guess we move on to the next game of the round. The Raiders taking on the Tigers.
All right.
What are our tips?
I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna say that Raiders win 1-12. I don't think it'll be as bad as a 13+ drubbing. I think the Tigers will stay in it for a little bit, but the Raiders will get the best of them in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. With this game, it's usually I'm not someone who sits here and goes upset here, upset there, upset everywhere. And I know there were a few upsets last week, but I think the Tigers are just going to prove us time and time again. I know they've dropped so many players, but I'm going to Tigers 1-12.
Hmm.
You can go on yourself.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go for the Rays for 1-12. Obviously, I want the Rays to win in order for my team to get in the finals. I believe that happens because like if the Seagulls still smash the Rabbitohs in the Rays like win and we win, does that mean like we make finals still
You
or?
have for
All you have to
You'd
do is
actually-
win,
You
really.
need a Raiders loss. Don't
you have
you?
a Raiders lose.
Oh, so we need the Rays to lose.
Yeah. What else is
Okay.
better for you?
Well, in that case, I'm going to go with Tigers 1-12. I think the Rays are going to fight here, and yeah, Xavier Savage and Josh Okai, they're going to try and go out of the edge there, and it's going to be absolutely it'll be rusty fight towards the end, but I reckon the Tigers will just be a little bit too good. I think I'm going to say North Luma to get a double here, and yeah, I think Tigers possibly may win either 10 points or either 4. So be a pretty intense game here. Let's hope the Tigers win it.
Okay, my tip now. Okay. I think yeah, I'm gonna go Jamal Fogarty and Jack White, and I think they'll just control the game and not let the Tigers in it at all. I'm gonna go Raiders by about 12. 1-12.
Alright, it's time to move on to the next game now, which this one it's a sort of a game. It's another one of those games which doesn't really impact the ladder at all. Neither does the next one after this one. We have the Knights taking on the Broncos.
Look, I think this could be. Obviously, the Knights have been doing well to fight their way back into the season. However, I think that looking at this Broncos side, I stand by the fact that I think it is the best Broncos side I've seen put out in the CRL. And I genuinely could see the Broncos knocking the Knights off 13+.
Ooh.
I don't think I could sit here and say 13+ with the with Toto still being there. I'll say Broncos 1-12.
So you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say trying to look for the Broncos lineup here for round 9. Yeah, I'm gonna say the Broncos are gonna win this by 1-12. I think the Knights are gonna just playing plastic here. I think the Broncos are gonna be too classy with Reynolds there, and I think maybe the Knights could possibly score a couple points of them on the defense. I don't know what will happen if they can improve the defense there, the Broncos. So I reckon it's gonna be a high scoring game, and I'm gonna say I think Broncos might win this. This may sound like a crazy score line, maybe 26 points to 22. against Knights.
Okay. My tip. Okay, so what I think will happen is I'm gonna go. I think the Knights. You guys are underrating them, in my opinion, this way. I'm gonna go Knights by 1.
Oh,
Interesting call there by Liam. Right, move on to the next game of the round, which this one again doesn't really affect a lot. In fact, these teams are probably going to face in the semi-final next week, but the Panthers are taking on the Sharks. What are our thoughts on this guy's game, this team?
hold up. I said that I would do this. I said that I'd do this the other night, but one sec. I'm just gonna quickly flip a coin. Someone else go.
Alright, I'll go first since my team's playing. I think Braden Trindle's going to lead the team around really well. We've kind of tracing the halves, new halves combo. It gives the young boys an opportunity to really show why they're part of this team. Yeah, I'll go Sharks 1 to 12.
Okay, so the result of my coin flip was Sharks. So the Sharks will win. I guarantee it. But yeah,
Why did
jokes aside, this game is really close. I mean, we've not seen either team really play because they're completely new teams, and I think both teams have around about the same amount of talent. So it really is a 50-50 in my opinion, and I think that Sharks will come out on top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I'll go on, Ennis. I'm sorry.
you go or I?
You go.
Okay, all right. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna say Sharks 1 to 12 here. Yeah, I'll go with possibly 18 to 12 here. I think it'll be a pretty close game. This is a very tough tip to pick here, but I'll say Sharks 1 to 12.
Yeah, so I'm on the fast of Jilly. I randomized between 1 and 4, and based off the number gave me an answer. So Panthers 13 plus is the result. That's my answer.
Come on.
I mean, fair
I
enough.
don't have anything else to say. I guess the next game we'll go is the big one. Besides a couple of finals places, the Roosters taking on the Eels. Who we have?
Oh, NSL, you want to go first?
Yeah. Apologies if my team list is not up at the moment, so bear with me. So yeah, this is gonna be this is a must win for us. For this week. Um, man, it's so. I'm just having so many worries for the Roosters like coming through out middle again. And I reckon if we can just like defend well in the middle again and just get Nelson much more involved in there and just give Guffo usual line breaks in there, I reckon we can possibly pull this off and just luckily enough end up in the finals. So I'll say 1 to 12. I'll say we'll win by 24 points to 16. I'll say that.
Look, I think I'm sorry, NSL, but we've seen a bit of a pattern with the Roosters: win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one for the past few weeks.
Yeah,
And I think
it's hard. Yeah,
they've lost one. I
it's
think they're going to win this week. 1
yeah,
to 12.
it's really hard to to get like a read on them if they're like the top 5. Oh no, but then they lose against a crap team. It's just really hard to get a read on them and just really unpredictable. So it's just very worrying of how I can expect them to go against my boys. Liam, you go.
Which
Not
team do
really.
I want to make? Which team do I win it? I'll go Eels 1 to 12 because I don't want Roosters making finals.
Hey,
Yeah, I do see Jelly's point. They go win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. But I'm gonna say the curse is broken here. I'm gonna say Eels by like I don't know, like 3 points or something.
all right, fair enough.
Should put in
Yeah,
field goal
it'll-
maybe if they were dropping off 4.
Yeah, it'll possibly end up pretty weird.
That'd be funny.
Who
But no,
knows?
yeah, I'm gonna go. All jokes aside, I'm gonna get Eels 1-12.
Yeah, be really interesting.
Well, I think that's about it for today's episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys, all so much for watching, and I guess we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Peace.